Hi there, Joka here with a new video, and I will share with you a bunch of projects that I've created with the July die kits. This one is the large die kit. Then I will use the small die kit and also a bunch of new Christmas products. Fair warning, this is a super long video. I've never had a long video like this before. I will see as I go on with the voiceover if I can delete something, but if not, it's gonna be super long. And only 5 cards, to be fair, so I don't know how it ended up this long, but it is what it is. So maybe take a cup of coffee, tea, or snacks, food, whatever, so that you can do something while watching this. Now this one is the small die kit. It's some ice skate with flowers, and yeah, the large kit was a birdhouse, which I will not be using actually. And also I will not be using this beautiful 3D embossing folder because I simply forgot, but I'm sure I'm gonna use it in the future with some future Christmas projects. This one here is, I am now looking at my phone, it's called Delivering Joy Sleigh Etched Dies, and this one should be from some collection, maybe I was gonna say Handmade Holidays, but it could just be on its own. This one is Handmade Sentiments. I love these kind of sentiments, they are always great. And then I received this beautiful kit called Handmade Holidays. That is a card kit. I will not be using a lot of it, but I wanted to show you what's inside. And this is actually something I used to do a lot, these scrapbook type cards. But since then I learned to love dies a lot more, so I haven't been doing this type of cards. But look at these beautiful designs. They are all gold I can't talk, gold foiled. I don't know if the camera picks it up. And there's 2 of these die cuts, 2 of each design in that pack. There's a lot, and you have everything in this kit that you need to create cards. This one here is 5 by 7 inch bases and envelopes, and you also get the A2 size one. I don't remember how many, maybe 5 of everything. That's the A2 size, or maybe 10. No, I don't remember, but you will see the contents on the Spellbinders website for sure. I will also add the link, if I don't forget, to everything I show you in this video in the description box below. Now this one will be something I use, I think maybe one of, but this is actually my favorite embellishment from scrapbook collections, these chipboards, because they are dimensional and there's always so many fun designs. Then here's a really nice sentiment, Christmas sentiment stamp set. Then some gems and sequins. One is gold, the other one is blue. I really like the color scheme in this. Some cardstock stickers and puffy stickers, or maybe you call it differently. Actually, the one on the left, but maybe acrylic stickers. They are also dimensional, a bit different from the puffy stickers. Then what I will use though is this 6 by 6 inch paper pad, because there are really nice designs in it. I will say that they are very thin papers, which is why I'm going to do something with them. Normally scrapbook papers are not this thin, but the designs are so beautiful. I just really like them. For example, this one. This is like teeny tiny beautiful tags. And then I remembered that in one of the die kits, or no, not in the die kits, in the Sleigh die set, the Delivering Joy Sleigh has a little tag which actually fits. I didn't know here yet if it was gonna fit, but I did use it, so I can tell you that it fits perfectly. So you can create really tiny little tags, really cute ones. So beautiful papers, beautiful designs, beautiful colors. I really like the color combo, so I actually went with these colors on today's cards. And very often I just use these papers as backgrounds or die cut from them, but I will show you that later. And from what I remember, there is 2 sheets of every design in this paper pad. I just quickly wanted to show you every single paper so you can decide if you like the design. This one is gold foiled, and then as you can see it's repeating. And then you have a few cardstock here that is matching in colors. Now what I don't seem to remember if this was the same, I think this was also thinner than the normal Spellbinders cardstock that you can buy in packs of 10. From what I remember, this was a bit thinner. And then you also have some mirror cardstock, 2 silver and 2 gold. It's really hard to film this because I don't know, you can just not really tell the color, but yeah, they are, it's a really beautiful kit, and I love the box design as well. So I'm actually now going to start to work on the first card, and like I said, I'm not going to use the bird house die. In the beginning of the video I showed you the size of it against an A2 card, A2 size card. I did not mention it there, but surprisingly it was actually bigger than that. Maybe you can fit it onto it. I did not die cut it, but it looked to be bigger, and that is, for me, it's good because I anyway prefer to create 5 by 7 inch cards, which is what I did here as well. All cards are going to be that size. And so I decided to die cut a few of these little cute birds. I believe they are cardinals. I have never seen one. I know I mentioned this in a previous video as well. I've never seen one. I don't even know if we have them here. I don't think we have them in Europe, or I could be totally wrong. I would have to check, but I've never seen one. So I die cut them from 2 different threads. Both are from Spellbinders. I only remember the lighter one is called Poppy Field. The other one could be Mahogany, but I will try to remember to link them in the description box. Sometimes I don't have space to link everything, so when something is missing, that's normally the reason. So I apologize for that. And as you can see, this is something I don't really put in the videos, but I wanted to show you how I put them together. I die cut everything from white cardstock. That's the 110 pound Nina heavyweight cardstock. And I layer them up. So this way they are nice and sturdy. You can easily put some what did I want to say, foam tape on them, and they will not crush in the mail. So I know this is extra time spent, but this is my preference. Obviously you don't have to do it if you don't have time or you don't like to spend time on that. As you can see, I also layered this one up, this berry branch. Mostly, well, first of all, I always do it, but this branch is so skinny, the paper. I don't like when something is so flimsy, so I just wanted some support to it. And then I'm just adding a few little white gel pen details. I don't know if that's necessary, but finally I did not forget about it, because usually I do. I forget. Now this one is also a new product. I love shape dies like this. It's always perfect for adding some layers. And I'm just trying to find a name, but right now I do not. Oh, here it is. Emerald cut labels and tag etched dies, and they are probably from this collection Home for the Holidays, I think. I'm mixing up two because there is also the Handmade Holidays, but I think that's the kit. Let me check for a second. Yeah, the kit is the Handmade Holidays, so then this one must be the Home for the Holidays. And so this is what I was gonna tell you. This is what I do. I added some heavyweight white cardstock to these. That is without the cardstock, so you can see how flimsy it is. And with the cardstock, it's not very bendable. So I added them using liquid glue. The paper is truly so thin that you will see every glue through it. Liquid glue as well, but the die cut, I think the die cut sandwich pressed it together a little bit. It's not too bad, not as visible. And then, as you can see, since the paper pad is 6 by 6 inches, it's not going to cover the full I think it's A7 card, right? The 5 by 7. And I normally do this then. Either at the bottom I leave a strip, like a white strip from the background, or at the bottom and the top as well. So I chose this really beautiful pine or floral background, and then created these smaller labels because I die cut 2 of each of my birds. So I wanted to add all 4 to the background. If I had had time, I would have die cut so many of these birds and then just create a really fun background. And I think they would be really super cute from a rainbow papers, like, just using the whole rainbow spectrum, I guess. Again, totally would have done it if I had time, but lately, I have a lot on my plate, and also I don't know why, but I'm just so slow lately. This only these 5 cards took me about a week, I think. Normally I would do them in 2 days. So yeah, I don't know what's going on. Anyway, so as you can see, I also die cut some flowers, and I will add them behind the birds. Normally, in the old times, I would have loved using some of these chipboard frames. I added those as a layering piece on my scrapbook layouts and cards as well. You can see there are different sizes, and those are always a nice element. You could create some grid design cards, which I love as well. Just adding all the different frames and then the little birds within all of them. There's so many options, really. This kit is really gorgeous. So I know it's kind of busy because you have the floral background, but I thought, with that little kind of coral type color for the berries, it still stands out. I just wanted to add something extra in the background. So yeah, I still decided to add that, even if it's a bit busy maybe. So as you see, I add some foam tape to the bird, and this is just a really like 1 millimeter thick foam tape. Sometimes, well, often I use it to level out the difference in depth, because if I add all these leaves and the berry and everything behind the bird, I kind of, one part of the bird is going to be flush with that, but then the other part is going to hang off, and I don't want anything to crush in the mail, that's the point. So I prefer to then cover the rest of the body of the bird with some foam tape, if that makes sense. I hope it makes sense. Okay, and then I decided to add this little chipboard piece here at the bottom. Not that it makes sense, but at least something. Now, this is one of my favorite type of papers with just some text on it. It fits every kind of design. So that was my second option here. And I'm trimming a strip of dark green paper. And like I said earlier, this is the other type of design that I do with 6 by 6 inch pattern papers, where I align the paper at the top with the card base. And then I have a larger, like an empty space at the bottom. And normally I then add the sentiment in that space. I'm layering up a few of these emerald shape pieces, just so that I have a bunch of different frames. And that ribbon kind of thing, that's actually from the large die kit where you can hang the birdhouse with this. And I decided that I'm just going to hang my frames with that. So basically this is like a picture frame that is hung with a bow. But unfortunately, I don't think it looks so much like that. But that was the idea behind this, in case you are wondering why I have a bow at the top. I could have added it behind the largest shape, but I do not remember why I didn't. I think maybe because I didn't use the foam tape on the bottom layer. I think maybe. Anyway, you can decide how you prefer to do it. And then I still had a lot of foliage and berries, so I wanted to use them. So I had two. Actually, I told you that I die cut 2 of each bird, but I actually die cut 3 of each. So I had a pair left, which is why I created this second card. So, but I'm going about it exactly the same way as I did on the first card, adding some thin foam tape to level out that difference in depth, if that makes sense. Kind of, I don't usually go for symmetry, but this is one of those cases where I actually did. I think I created the same cluster at the bottom and at the top of the frame. And yeah, well, then the birds will make it not symmetrical. So that's all right. You guys, the other day, a couple of days ago, YouTube sent me a message that they demonetized all of my videos. First, I was like at a loss. I had no idea why. They mentioned that how did they formulate that? Something like I reuse content. Now that actually pissed me off, because I pride myself in doing original content, right? But then like a day later at night, just when I was gonna go to bed, I had this epiphany. I'm almost certain what they had a problem with. of course, I have a second channel for my company, and my company videos I always post here as well. And I don't change anything on them. I had no idea that this is not something that YouTube likes. I had no clue. So I have no idea what to do now. It's not like I have time for all these appeals, and then summer holidays coming. So I have no idea. Maybe it just stays demonetized, the whole thing, which is a shame because I don't know. I mean, I guess you can imagine that a lot of work goes into these videos, and it's not like they pay. It's not like they pay a whole lot of money, you know. I just hate when they come after the small people, you know, not the ones that are earning hundreds of thousands or tens of thousands or millions of dollars with this. And what actually pissed me off even more, that they will still add videos to break up my content, except they will not pay anything after it, you know. So I have no idea now. I cannot tell you how many videos there will videos like ads, you know. I have no idea how many there will be. And I also saw that they are not clickable, which is what normally I choose, so that people don't have to watch them. But YouTube is not going to be so gracious. So I apologize for that in advance. I just wanted to mention that this happened. Anyway, back to the project. I'm moving on to the next. This is such a cute die. I love it. And what I want to mention here, again, I am layering up every piece, as you can see. And this is the background, or like the base layer of the boot. And I wanted like 2 colors for the heel, but there's no 2 dies for it, just like so. So I am going to actually just trim that off. I will glue this the lighter sole on the darker one, and then just trim it off. I think that gives it a little bit of extra depth. And then the shoelaces, I'm preparing. Everything is 2 layers, even that little tiny dot. Again, you don't have to go through the trouble. I am only able to do this because of my tweezers. Honestly, I would not be able to do 95% of what I'm doing without them. So putting together the boot and then the laces, it's so cute. I love it. And yeah, it's actually quite straightforward how you put it all together. And then I chose the same coral kind of color laces, and that goes with the peach polka dot paper that's in the paper pad. And that's it. I could have chosen like the silver metallic or the mirror cardstock or the gold one, but I don't like to add them as a bottom layer. I explained it in many videos. I just simply don't have a glue that will keep them in place forever, you know. So I just prefer to use plain cardstock, no specialty cardstock. So sometimes if you wonder why I don't use more metallics, that's the reason. Okay, well, if I ever do, that is for a top layer, but this Spellbinders mirror cardstock that is in this kit is actually has that both sides are the same, so there's no paper on either side. So again, I did the same here. I'm adding a little pop of color with that red strip of paper. And then the poinsettias, I'm trying to figure out how I want to add my flowers in the boots. First, I was thinking that I just hang the boots from either twine or something, you know, just that they look like They are hanging by the shoelaces, but I then just went with the obvious design. Now that I look at it, I have no idea why I added those white lines the way I added them to the poinsettias. It looks completely stupid, but don't mind me. Just just do it your way. I don't like it, but okay. And I am adding some foam tape. These ones actually, this one is not a thin foam tape. This is the Spellbinders. I don't remember what they were called. Like, they are strips of foam tapes in a small package, but they are so nice and sticky. So I like to use them for these small die cuts. So I'm kind of trying to figure out the design as I go, and then I keep rearranging if I don't like something, and then I glue everything along the way. I think I die cut 5 of these little, I don't know what kind of flowers those would be. Let's call them roses. And the ones that have no greenery or leaves or stems or anything. So I'll just fill the empty spaces with those, if that makes sense. And I actually wanted to add 3 of these poinsettias, but they are so big that I did not. I don't know. I thought it was too much. And I mean, I love to use a lot of flowers, but even I thought that was too much. So, but that's it, basically. It's really quite simple. And just imagine how many custom color schemes you could do for people. I don't know. I don't ice skate. I think I only ever did once, twice in my life as a kid. But if you know somebody and they have a favorite color or a favorite pattern, I think it's so fun to custom make something for your loved ones. I love that. So you have the option here as well. And I think they are just more fun with the pattern than just a single color. But that's just me. So this card is almost done, and I will need a sentiment, which I really love. Those I already mentioned. What were they called again? Now that I have my phone in front of me, but why would I find it? Oh, here it is, Handmade sentiments, and they have 3 different this banner type of sentiment, they have delivering joy, happy holidays, and Christmas wishes. And then, of course, the outline. So you can also just die cut that and add some stamped sentiment if that's what you like. So it's pretty versatile. And then I'm using one of these, I think it's oyster color. And I again forget what they are called, pearls or gems, or maybe I'm gonna remember later. But they come in a lot of different colors, and I just thought this one fits my color scheme better. Oh no, it's actually I'm using a different sentiment. See, and I only finished these cards like yesterday or the day before, and I already don't remember. But I wanted to use some of that chipboard as well, so I'm just I added 2 of those. And again, this is where I'm using the little tiny tags. Unfortunately, I forgot to take out my shim, the metal shim, which compresses the plates more. So I have a lot of indentation in those in that tag. But if you don't use the shim, then it's gonna be nice. The surface is gonna be nice. So I created a bunch of those little tags, and now I am creating the presents that come with the Sleigh die set. And I am now moving on to that card where I use the Sleigh. And in that same, well, I wanted to say that it's in the same collection, but I think the Sleigh is a different, oh, maybe it's just, it's not in any collection. But there is the Home for the Holidays collection that has quite a few dies, and also some of these better press plates, but I don't have the better press machine and the and plates. I will be honest, I only don't have it because I don't have space. Otherwise, I see all those beautiful designs. I'm always feeling a bit left out, you know. But honestly, I really don't know where to put it. So next, what I wanted to say, yeah, so the Home for the Holidays, there's a lot of beautiful dies in it, and I'm actually going to use a few of them. It has also a Saint Nick, which I thought maybe I could use it on this card with the Sleigh, but then it was a second thought, and I was already kind of done with the card and didn't want to die cut anymore. So, but you could check, maybe it fits. Although it does seem the Saint Nick is quite tall, but I think maybe it could look good with the Sleigh still. So I'm just going to use the Sleigh and a lot of the presents, and as you can see, I added a bunch of layers, and I couldn't decide what would look better, if I put that the bottom behind the top part or in front. But once I decided I put it in front, I could use my favorite gold paper. This is from, I'll have to think, Nuvo, I think. And it's a matte gold paper, so when it's top layer I can use it. Now this is actually a 3D folder as well. First I thought it was just 2D, but it's 3D, and this also is in the new Home for the Holidays collection. It's called Argyle Plaid 3D embossing folder. Look at that beauty. And with 3D folders, always add a little bit of water on both sides of the cardstock. This is also another die from this collection, and I will not use the outline, just the you know, the inside little textured piece, and I will cut that into a 5x7 panel. But then I decided I'll trim that down a little bit so I have a frame around. And this one is another really cool, I love sentiment dies. You know, I prefer sentiment dies over stamps, always. So I was really happy with these ones because you can actually mix and match them. There's so many nice Christmas themed words. And in the end, I chose sending warm winter wishes, I think. But you could do, I think there was Christmas, Christmas cheer. You could do sending Christmas cheer. Let me see if I find the sentiments. Here you go. So there is Merry Christmas, sending, holiday, cheer, warm, which is winter, greetings, joy, and Noel. So a lot that you can create with this, and it's like totally great size as well, so I'm really happy with this one. And it's easy to work with it because sometimes the sentiment dies are gorgeous when they are very, you know, like thin lines, flimsy and everything, but yeah, it is hard to work with them, or you know, they need extra care. But these ones are fabulous. They are larger and they are not skinny at all, so they were easy to work with. Again, I'm using this wonderful emerald cut I'm saying emerald cut because of the diamonds, I think, but it's just, no, it is emerald cut labels. Okay, I'm not entirely stupid. So I'm layering the, well, not layering, but adding some foam tape. Again, this is just a very thin foam tape to the label. I added, actually, so I die cut that pattern paper with the layer of heavyweight cardstock behind it, but I also added another layer of heavyweight cardstock because it was kind of like warped, and I don't do well with warped things. I know it's sad, but yeah. I always say I'm a recovering perfectionist. I do try to not care about everything unimportant, but I'm so detail oriented. Some things are I just can't, you know. So I added that extra layer, and I much prefer it this way. So now I am trying to figure out what I want to do for my design, and I knew that if I put my sleigh on the left with all the patterned paper gifts, I will have like an empty space on the right, but I had this idea that I could add a longer sentiment there, or larger sentiment, and because the sentiment die set that I just showed you, the Christmas greetings set, it's actually quite, it's a good sized sentiment die. I could create, as you can see, a longer sentiment that is basically covering my right side. And of course, I wanted to add some of the flowers. This also comes with the die set. So, you know, flowers all the time. But I wanted to add them in both corners. So one is sitting on the sleigh and the other is just in the top right corner. But I kind of mirrored them. Maybe not completely, but you know, like I said, I don't like now I'm looking for the word. I don't like symmetry, right? That's what I wanted to say, but it's kind of mirrored there. The sentiments, I die cut them from the color paper that I wanted, which in this case was the darker red shade. I think it's the mahogany paper from Spellbinders. And then I also die cutted every single word from white heavyweight cardstock twice, or maybe even 3 times. And then I layered them up. I just did not want to put that in the video, I guess. But it looks like chipboard sentiments, so I always like to do that. So that card is done, and then look at this beautiful die. It is called Poinsettia Spray, and it comes with the basic branch, and then you can add these little flowers to it. Then there is this simple candy cane, and I wanted to use both. I don't know if the card is gonna make sense, but I wanted to use both of those die sets. For this, because again, you see that the branch is really, really flimsy, very thin lines. I die cut it twice from heavyweight white cardstock and then once from the color cardstock. And as you can see, I left it in the paper that I was die cut from, because I can easily line up the paper this way. Otherwise, it would be just, you know, very flimsy, and I can never layer or layer up anything perfectly that way. So I find it easier to do it this way. Now I'm removing the background paper. I don't know what to call this the negative piece or whatever. And then I'm cleaning up every single little line with my tweezers. And I think I probably mentioned it before, these particular tweezers are from Spellbinders, and they are really, really sharp on every side. And because they are that sharp, it's super easy to remove all the excess glue, all the, you have these fuzzies, I don't know what they are called. I call them fuzzies along the each line that you die cut. Sometimes you don't have it, but it just depends on the paper that you use. Often you have it. And then I personally like to clean up my die cuts. So again, that's another reason why I take longer to prepare anything, but I prefer clean projects. So that is what I use, another use for these tweezers. They are absolutely my favorite tweezers, and I really couldn't live without them. So it's weird to say that, but it is true. So I die cut 3 poinsettias, one of the larger ones and 2 of the small ones, and then this other little flower I actually die cut double layers for, just to add a bit more dimension. And this one, I don't know what it's called, I die cut from 3 different colors, all the pieces, just so that I don't know if you can see it, but the top 2 piece, like the background and the foreground, they are 2 different shades of the same color, and then this main piece is another shade of that color. So you can add up to 3 colors to this one, but again, it's up to you. You can also just do 1 or 2. And what else? Oh yeah, and then I used my gold paper for the centers of the flowers. I could have also just used some enamel dots. You know me, I love enamel dots or pearls or whatever little embellishments, but I don't know why I went with this one. I guess I just like those little centers, or maybe I just die cut them from gold paper and then I went with them. Sometimes I don't like to think about what color enamel dots to use. So yeah, and then I went with the standard layout, meaning that I placed the little flowers where they were supposed to go, but obviously you can totally mix this up. You can place the poinsettias there and the little flowers elsewhere. It really doesn't matter. And I die cut the leaves from 2 different greens that are darker than my base layer. So again, I have 3 colors there as well. You know that I like as colorful as possible. Now for my background, I'm going back to this die cut piece, and you will notice, first of all, I'm adding a layer of double-sided glue with another layer of heavyweight cardstock, because I wanted this panel to be sturdy and also thick. You will notice that I trimmed it off just like so, or just a little bit, maybe 1/4 of an inch, because I wanted to have a layered look. So this is going to be my center piece on the card base, and I create 2 candy canes and 2 layers of heavyweight cardstock, white cardstock, and then an extra layer of red. That white cardstock is sturdier than the sometimes I just don't remember the word that I want to say. The color cardstock. The color cardstock is actually also from Spellbinders. They are also heavyweight, but the white one is even more thick. And of course, I wanted to create some pieces that look more like a chipboard. I prefer doing this way instead of adding foam tape, not only because foam tape is probably more expensive than paper, but also because it's sturdier this way. You have the same dimension everywhere along that cut file. Cut file? Die cut, you know what I mean. So it was really easy to find which piece goes where, because everything is embossed in that main piece, so it was very straightforward. And then there's the other candy cane that is exactly the same, but then goes the other direction. Now again, this is from the same die kit, and as you see, I created a really dimensional chipboard kind of piece. And again, this will be a really simple card. I have no idea if this is gonna make any sense. Instead of using the little embellishment that come with the candy cane die kit, I wanted to combine the candy canes with these beautiful flowers. And so on my right side, there's not gonna be much, but I wanted to show that beautiful background. I love when there's some texture in the background. I love, love, love white textured paper, even though, you know, I prefer not to have white space, but when it comes to texture or using background dyes, cover plates, I love, love white on white as an element in the background. So I trimmed off the candy cane, one of them, and I did that before gluing it down, because as you can see, I wouldn't have had space for my scissors along that panel in the middle, and I would have messed it up. So I kind of just used the pencil to mark where I want to cut it, and then I trimmed it off. And I had some of these tags left, so I didn't want to waste them, and I had kind of like a little empty spot there, so I added 2 of them. And then I now decided to just say holiday greetings, and that's it. And I think I'm actually at the end of the video. I cannot even believe it. It's super long, 50 minutes, my god. If you managed to watch until now, congratulations. I love you very much. Thank you very much for hanging with me. I don't know when I'm gonna be back with the next video, probably not for a long while, because we are gonna go on holidays soon, and so I will not really have time, I don't think, before holidays to create a new one. But I cannot wait to get back to crafting, probably in September. So I hope you have a nice summer, enjoy the good weather, and I hope to see you soon. Bye bye.